Welcome, guys, to the final installment of Malledam for this year. How exciting is that? I'm your host, Rob, of course, and today we'll be presenting you something a little bit shorter, less work, maybe, I think, because I'm not really going to be doing too much in this video. All I'm going to be doing is presenting you a lot of stuff I've been doing off camera. And it's going to be fairly short, but it should be hopefully nice and sweet as well. I did originally intend to switch on the snow theme for this map, but I didn't quite have the time, so I promise in the near future I will have the snow theme on this map. So, as you can see, we just took the tram one stop to Bimhouse from the Brabantse station, and the tram's just going to leave there, so I'm just going to hop off it. What is this? It's a Christmas market in the square next to the Bimhouse. You know, I was talking about how I really didn't know what I wanted to do with this particular area, and I've finally figured it out. It's a Christmas market. I think it's just lovely. I think it's such a sweet place. Let's quickly go to nighttime before we go in. That should be nicer, because then it'll be really like Christmas time. This is sort of like Christmas time in the Netherlands because we don't have any snow anyway. So there's our Christmas market. I lit up the Bimhouse in blue, decorated it a little bit, had fireworks coming out the top, so I just think it's all a great combination. If you go in, there's a lot of people, generators, also people are attracted to the stalls, so you have a lot of people hanging around. There's also a bench for people to sit on, there's a few of these, so you'll find a few people sitting, a lot of people standing in the bench, admittedly, that's kind of unexpected. Yeah, so you have the Christmas decorations, Christmas stalls, lots of them, lots of stalls, a few entrances and exits, so we'll just go out this one and go round, along with all this massive crowd of people. But I just think it looks amazing. It mostly attracts tourists and old people, which is also, I suppose, quite realistic for a Christmas market. Got the Christmas tree there. Now, this is in a new area I built. I think it's new to the last time we were on the channel, because it's just an industrial estate with some parking and like a Aldi, pardon me. So you could argue maybe how good of a place it is for a Christmas market, but I think, you know, a large empty place where you could fill it in with loads of stuff to do, it's probably quite likely it would be in a lower value area like this one. So there's a cafe nearby, and there's a few industrial buildings and some shops and out behind. So it's not totally dead, but it's also not maybe a cultural hotspot like you might expect. But I just thought it would be lovely to have it, you know, an attraction in the place, in a quieter area of the city, because mostly everyone always goes to Malledam Centrumplein, which is over here. So I thought it might be nice to have somewhere different for them to go. Let's take a look at the other stuff. I'm going to make this one very quick. We'll hop a ride on the bus again, I think. There's a bus here. This is going to go along through the new neighborhoods, which I've built partially, and then we'll walk along the rest of them, and then we'll be done, I think. So, this bus, it's very busy here, isn't it? I might have to sort that out in a future video, because I was hoping this would be a bit quicker. But it seems like it's not. Is the bus going to get through? Yeah, there we are. So, it's caught at the light as well. Anyway, when this bus gets to its destination, you'll see that there's a few new areas, and they've all got different architectural styles, because ultimately I was getting a little bit bored with the same repetitive old town Dutch style, so I've used some of that, but I've also mixed it up with some French cube, like European style cube houses, and some more modern buildings, some industrial, which, because I have a large demand for industrial, so all of that is the important thing. Why are they all stopping here? Okay, it's interesting. So yeah, the bus is obviously now a bit delayed. So over here we have the industrial estate, which I built, fairly normal. Maybe we'll come back and take a quick look at that. This is the transit building, so the building for all the workers at the public transit. Some of them will come here. Bit of a boring industrial estate. There's a new little like canal, but it's not really a canal, it's more like just a water. And then there's a new industrial estate over here as well, which I think might be interesting to some of you. So the bus now goes back into the old town, so we'll hop off it here. So we have this industrial estate, the tram comes here, so there's always good service because there's a bus stop there and a tram stop here. The bus comes from the train station over in that direction, and the tram comes from Central Station, so it's always good service. Trucks are not allowed to, where are trucks not allowed to go? Trucks are not allowed to enter, not allowed to exit here. So that reduces the amount of traffic, and it means all the trucks coming into the city have to exit here, which means just a little reduction in traffic. And also that's where most of the industrial estates are either way, so it just avoids clogging up this roundabout more than it needs to be. It's already got traffic lights on it. Okay, what else do we have? We have this industrial estate. It's very boring. It already sort of existed, I just filled it in. I like this because this is quite common in the Netherlands to have buildings actually sitting on top of the water. So we sort of have that here, this new water source, which it makes this like flowing water down into the river. The reality is in the Netherlands it wouldn't be flowing, but we make do with what we have. We have the cube houses over here. Now these are super cute. I really like this. I made like a little quiet neighborhood for them. It sort of reminds me of like semi-urban France or something. I mixed in some Dutch buildings with them, like this one here. So you have all sorts of styles, but I think it's very cute. It's like extremely suburban in comparison with most of what we've done. And it's I think it's such a cozy place in the middle of the city. And then I think we're coming up to what is basically, it's not really the crown jewel, I would say, but it's more like the only place which is new, which has a lot of traffic to it, and it's this building here. It's actually 4 separate buildings, offices and commercial and residential. There's this set here, it's another sort of boring industrial estate. Basically, I've been putting in a lot of effort to just make sure there's enough commerce and industry in the city, because we've been doing so much residential. There's the first small roundabouts in the city. In the Netherlands, you have tons of small roundabouts, so I'd really need to have more of those, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, last one, Posh Neighborhood. Not very Christmassy in comparison with the rest. My game froze there for a sec. Posh Neighborhood, just even posher than this one over here. We have these beautiful buildings, which I've put lots of flower boxes on, which I think is super cute. I think they're from Amersfoort in the Netherlands, so they're real buildings. I gave them a nice posh looking garden and a place to park their car. I think that's super cute. That looks very fancy. I'd like to live there. I think they're all offices though. These are also all offices. These ones along here are residential. So I put in some stores as well, so you know people would have a reason to visit. So there's Balenciaga, I think there's Gucci and Fendi as well. And then over here is some more fancy residences and like a few modern fancy residences. A couple old ones which I built mostly just so I could build over the park, and apparently they're parking there. That's interesting. Path, sorry, not park. Yeah, you know, I think it's really coming along, and it's becoming what you might think of as a real city, because now we've got all these different segments which people are travelling to and from, whereas before there was like everyone rushing to the commerce section and then back home and then maybe going to the shops, and that was it. But now we have all these different segments, some of which are nice and quiet like these ones, and other ones which are, well, not quite as quiet like these ones. And I think that's also a good difference to have, because in real cities you do have these areas where they're not terribly well connected, and that means that people living there get a bit of peace and quiet. Not really like where I live, but there are certainly places like that. Yeah, so I think there wasn't really much to say in this video. I don't have enough time to really do anything else, so I'll leave you with a tram trip out of the city from the This one, I think it is. Yeah. I'll leave you with a tram trip out of the city. It's not new, but you will be able to see a lot of new things from it, so I think that might be fun. Right, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.